Welcome in, viewers. Hope you are having a great Victory Sunday. We're gonna do the normal 10-minute routine, but before we get all of that started, I have an announcement to make. I am rebranding the Gigs Higgs podcast. We will be renaming. I'm getting rid of the gigs section of my podcast, just to eliminate some brand confusion. We talk about Notre Dame football for so much of the season. What I do on Twitch and what I do here on the stream and in the podcast is so much different. But we talk about Notre Dame all year round. So I'm trying to decide. We'll decide sometime today. I will either be the Higgs Indy or the Indy Higgs podcast moving forward. That'll be my brand name. That'll be what I've changed my Twitch handle to. All of that, right? So obviously my opinions are not those opinions of the university, but I need everybody to understand we talk about Notre Dame football around here. We talk about Notre Dame sports. We talk about it all season. That's what we do. All right, so on that note, let's get into last night's game. What a difference a week has made, and it's not a huge difference in the play. There was definitely a difference in the play. You could tell, I was on the sidelines last night watching the game, and I could tell you the students, the players were in this game. They were excited about this game. They were ready to win this game. I don't think they walked into Louisville dejected. And I wasn't at the Louisville game. I watched it on television, but I think there was a lot of hype about having to beat this team, about having to beat Southern Cal, especially after the drubbing that they gave us last year. They understood the rivalry. They understood how important this was. It's not that I think that they didn't understand how important the game against Louisville was. The biggest difference was in the play calling, was in the way the coaches put together the packages that they put together, for these students. We changed the defense pretty regularly. We were shifting between a man defense and a zone defense fairly regularly. And it wasn't, we were running a lot of man zone coverage, which is kind of what I was hoping that we were going to do against Louisville, which would have made a lot of sense. The biggest difference was running outside of the tackle box. Something that I don't think we've really done all season. And it's something that we've talked about here multiple times. We have to get out to the perimeter. We have to get outside the tackle box. We have to drop some plays to get Audric Estime, Jeremiah Love, get those guys out on the perimeter so that they can move up the field. And it doesn't matter if those plays are successful or not, but because what it does is it changes the way the defense has to run. The opposing defense has to run. They can't stick 8 or 9 guys in the box and block the middle if they think that you're going to get to the outside. And we found Southern Cal frequently cheating to the outside last night because they thought that we were going to run a play outside. Because the way that our offense was set up, it looked like that was exactly what we were going to do. And we found some ways to get the football out to the perimeter, in the previous weeks, but not enough. We didn't have enough plays running outside the tackle box. I love the fact that we've got a big running back like Audric Estime, who, by the way, had a phenomenal game last night. 3 touchdowns? I got to look up my statistics here because I dropped them right when I started the stream. But when's the last time? It's been a long time since we've put up this many points against Southern Cal. I was talking to somebody last night. They thought it was probably 1977 or something like that, since the 77 national championship team, that we put up 48 points or more. And that's what we did. We put up 48 points last night, which is largely in credit to the defense. But if it weren't for the offense, we would not have done that. Yeah, it wouldn't have happened without the efforts of the offense, without great offensive execution. I'm going to pull up my notes here. Audric Estime had 2 touchdowns. He averaged 4.5 yards per carry. Ran for 95 yards. I'm actually surprised that that's not over 100 yards, but at the same time, I'm not surprised because we got the ball inside, inside the 40, inside our, the opposing 40 so often, that we just didn't have to have that many offensive yards. So we team total, we had a 251 total offensive yards. Not normally something that you would see when you're putting 48 points up on the board. But, 4 touchdowns on offense and one defensive touchdown. Yeah. Xavier Watts last night. Oh my goodness. Every breakup, every interception. Xavier Watts had 2 interceptions. He had 1 forced fumble. It seemed like he was in on every big play last night. And J.D. Bertrand had a heck of a night last night too. He had 11 tackles. He had half a sack and 1.5 tackles for loss. So he got in. Bertrand got in on a really great tackle with Riley Mills on a sack. Mills and Mills had a great night. Howard Cross had a great night. Maris Leofau got in, got himself a sack, and caused a pressure on another one that if he had not gotten into the backfield on that particular play, that sack would not have happened either. He didn't get credit for half the sack on that. He should have, but he didn't. Yeah. What a night. What a night. And then Benjamin Morrison had an interception as well. And we have not seen our defense break out like this in a very, very long time. And we knew that we had a great defense, but we have not seen this from them, since last year, right? And I don't know what it is, Irish fans, with these games. We did the same thing to Clemson last year. And I don't understand. I don't get it. For whatever reason, this team comes together after 2 losses and plays like it's one of the best teams in the country. And I think that's a coaching thing, right? I think, in my mind, the coaches are not in that we win the national championship with no losses kind of mentality. It's after the problems occur that they start breaking out the playbook and trying to figure out, how do we make this happen? How do we win out the rest of the season? But the mentality needs to be, this is how we win out the season, all along. And I know that they're doing an amazing job recruiting. They're on the recruiting trail more than probably any coaching staff we've had since Tyrone Willingham, right? And they're recruiting well at Notre Dame, better than anyone has probably since Tyrone Willingham. So to see what we did last night, I've been saying all along, this is the football team that we can be. This is the football team that we need to continue to be moving forward. Because guess what else happened last night? Pitt beat Louisville. And we knew Louisville had a good football team. We didn't think that Louisville had a good football team in the way that Louisville played us, right? But what we also found out is that Pitt has a better football team than what their record says they have. And we got to play them in 2 weeks. We got a bye week next week, so we're going to get settled in. And, that'll hopefully give the players some good rest. We got fall break this week, so hopefully some players are getting to go home and spend some time at home. Kind of doubt it. They're probably at practice all week, but we'll see. Anyway, that just about wraps us up. We're hitting that 10-minute mark. I just want to say really quick, hey, love you all. God bless. Keep looking up. Look for that rebrand. I'm going to spend some time today. I got a 12-hour stream starting right after this. So if you watch this live, please stick around for that. And I'll see you all very soon. We'll talk about the rebrand coming up. Go Irish.